And here we go.
Warning. This podcast is horror genre, specifically horror films. As most horror movies are filled with coarse language, violence, and/or gore, the topics and language of the cast of the pod will also reflect the genre. If you have any issues with the aforementioned warnings, please press stop. But if you have no issue with adult language, movie violence, or the accoutrement that accompanies horror films, please feel free to continue. You have been warned.
You have been warned. All right, everybody, welcome back to Cast of the Pod, the podcast where we talk about, it used to be like nostalgia of the movies, but some of these movies that we should have some nostalgia we hadn't even seen, so it's bringing us back into it, and we discuss the movies. We have fun with it and how the movies affected us, or how we saw it, or yeah, movies.
Blah blah blah.
Blah 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 blah. I'm pretty sure by now, Josh, they have figured out what we do here.
It might be somebody's first time watching Cast of the Pod.
That's
or listening to Cast of the Pod. So we got to break it down.
You know what? You're right. Our numbers have been going up.
We got to let people know this is not a traditional review show where we follow a format. We haven't released it yet, but we had PGZ and Megan on the other day, and we were talking about Barbarian, and we got so much into the conversation we forgot we were podcasting, and it just ended up being a conversation about the movie. And we're like, yeah, that one part, yeah, that one didn't even explain anything about the movie.
Oh, there we go again. The wheels have completely came off.
Yeah.
So, but just so people know, it's a reaction, it's a description,
it's
a conversation. Sooner or later, we're gonna make this live or somehow interactive or anything like that.
We got to do it for Halloween.
Well, nobody's called the number 786-763-2278 to interact with the. Like right now, we're doing the hashtag. Don't hate us. Don't hate us. Don't hurt us. Don't hurt us, Jamie Lee Curtis. Jamie Lee Curtis, don't hurt us. It's been a long couple of days. I'm sorry. But I didn't even introduce the dream team for Cast of the Pod.
That's what I'm saying.
Zooming in over here. If you're watching over there, if you're watching on YouTube, over on the right-hand corner, right there, zooming in. Who do we have? Cobweb, you can reach him at Cobweb411. And then down on the bottom left, over there, Deb, who are you?
Deb.
Oh, okay, there you go. You notice I took her DM information.
What? You took it off?
Off of the bottom scroll there.
It's at Deb, Mrs. OMG.
This mother.
Wow. It's rough out here, these streets.
and then myself, I'm not even going to say that mine is Old Married Gamer, because you can just reach us at Cast of the Pod, castofthepod.com. Or like I said, leave a message. Tell us what movie you want us to watch once we get out of our October celebration of Jamie Lee Curtis. Call us at 786-763-2278, and we'll put you on Cast of the Pod with us. Your audio clip. And yeah.
Yep.
So as I was saying, we're celebrating we're celebrating October, not only because it's Halloween and you know that's when horror movies pick up for everybody that doesn't watch horror movies. We watch horror movies all the time.
Ooh.
Yes, exactly. Some people during October, they have to, now it's time to watch scary movies.
We watch it all the time.
Yes. So we're celebrating the queen of, you called her the slasher queen, the queen of slash?
Queen of slash.
And the original Scream queen, Jamie Lee Curtis. And we're celebrating by putting those hashtags out. Cobweb's been all over the place with those things. Hashtag Jamie Lee Curtis, don't hurt us. Don't hurt us, Jamie Lee Curtis. You got some traction going on with her.
And we're like about over 2,000 hits off that bad baby already.
Wow.
We're starting to get up there, man. We've only been at this for a little bit, and it's already starting to get there where it needs to be. You know, I mean, I'm feeling this, man. I'm feeling it. This is hype.
So what movie did we do first? We did
Prom?
No, Prom Night was last week.
Terror Train
before that.
Right.
And spoiler alert, you have been warned. Not only do we spoil the movies if you haven't seen them. We also spoil our own podcast.
Yeah.
And I'll let you know right now, I was feeling this movie more than Prom Night.
Yeah.
Not as much as Terror Train, because Terror Train is almost damn near perfect.
Yep.
Yes.
But yeah, The Fog. I didn't even say the name yet. 1980s Fog. Did she make
We're
like
all
12 movies?
behind today in this episode.
Did she make like 12 movies in 1980 or what?
And like at one time, I think she was. She had to be the busiest woman in Hollywood at that time, man.
She's working.
She was working hard. She was
She'll go
working
from
hard
one
for that
movie
money.
to the next, to the next, to the next.
So Jamie Lee
Right.
Curtis, if we put the T-shirt out or anything like that, don't sue us, don't hurt us, Jamie Lee Curtis.
Oh, yeah.
All due respect.
Hey, when we hit like 5,000, there's definitely going to be a T-shirt.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Oh yeah. So like us, share us, ring the bell us, and all that other stuff that people say. I don't know. I'm old. I don't know.
It sounded pretty cool though.
Oh, ring the bell us?
Ring the bellas?
Yeah.
No.
Well, my dog is called his name Bella.
This is what we at right now.
That's where we're at. That's it. So I just want to say this movie has 3 of my favorite lines
Oh, word?
ever. 3 of my favorite lines in a movie.
What are
Okay.
Well, we don't have to get into them right now. We can talk about the movie and what's going on and all that. This is, you know what? Let me bring up the description and we'll talk about that. Short description. I've been having voice issues and now it's strange talking. I didn't talk all day just so I could talk for this. An unearthly fog rolls into a small coastal town exactly 100 years after a ship mysteriously sank in its waters. So, the storyline put in by Nick Reganis on IMDb. Against the backdrop of spine-chilling stories of drowned mariners and a 100-year-old shipwreck lying on the bottom of the sea, the peaceful coastal town of Antonio Bay, California, is making preparations to celebrate its centennial. However, as strange supernatural occurrences blemish the festivities, a dense fog starts to shroud the seaside town, leading to unaccountable disappearances. A century ago, a hideous crime was committed by the town's elders. Now the restless dead have returned for revenge. Is there something evil lurking in the fog? Man,
Yeah,
and that's just somebody who's just posting on IMDb.
Wow. They going into detail on that.
Yeah, compared to the other one where it's like, there's fog and stuff happens.
Yeah. There's a lot of detail in it.
Yeah, so thanks, Nick. Appreciate you. So this movie is directed by the John Carpenter, written by John Carpenter and Deborah Hill, from both of whom from Halloween. Stars one of my childhood crushes, Adrienne Barbeau.
Woo!
Yes. Jamie Lee Curtis and her mom, Janet Leigh. That's her mom, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. She was like the mayor or something like that.
Yeah.
She was I don't think she was the mayor. I remember she had that white suit on.
Yeah, she was like the city planner. She's driving around that station wagon that everybody had. Did you have one of those station wagons back in the day?
No, we didn't have a station wagon.
We had the Chevy one. It was brown.
I think it was the law when we were younger.
Yeah, everybody down here
had
you
to have
had
one.
to have one of those station wagons
Mine was like an orange brown.
with the seats facing backwards.
Yes.
And then you were sitting in the back seat, and like people were driving up behind you,
You're like,
and
wait.
you're facing the wrong way. You're waving at people.
No,
or picking
we had
your
the
nose.
full size. We had the full size van.
Yeah, okay.
We
there you
had
go.
that too.
We had the full size van.
Yeah, we
man.
had the blue Dodge van, and Deborah had the Cowboys blue and gray.
Gray.
Cowboy van with the star on it.
Really?
Not as cool as Slick's van
Yeah.
from
not as
Prom
cool
Night.
as that.
Not that cool.
Man. All right, we got to stay focused on this because we can get off
my
on Slick
bad.
all
We
day.
go all over the place.
We can
My
get
bad.
on Slick all day. You know, I love me some Slick, boy.
So this movie starts off with, I was surprised because I had never seen this movie. Deborah saw it with her dad back in the day.
Yeah, we used to watch
Okay.
it all the time. like whenever it came out on TV.
Oh wow,
Yeah, I had never seen it.
I never
And,
saw it either.
So it started off with John Houseman, the Mr. Machen, but he was the old man, the grandpa on the beach telling the ghost stories. And like you've heard his voice, you've seen his face in tons of things. I'm not even going to go look it up. Yes, I am. I'm such a hypocrite. You've seen him in Rollerball, Paper Chase, 3 Days of the Condor, The Fog. Yes, I know The Fog.
Right.
All those movies
Naked
that you
Gun.
just said, except Naked Gun, but the other ones I don't even know what they are.
What?
So
Scrooged.
Pretty much. I'm with Deb on that.
He came out on 227, Silver Spoons.
He was on 227.
I remember Silver Spoons
That was my show.
and 227.
I remember both of those.
Let's
Spinoffs.
see. American Playhouse, Marco Polo, Murder by Phone. He was in Mork and Mindy.
I remember Mark and Mindy.
Oh yeah. He was
Yeah. There's probably
Yeah.
stuff in there's probably stuff in here that's not even in here that should be in here because he's very recognizable. When you watch the movie, because everybody should watch the movie. Spoiler alert. Yeah, you'll recognize him. You'll recognize him and the priest. The priest has been in tons of stuff too.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then your childhood crush too.
Yes, Adrian Barbeau. I think of Swamp Thing mostly.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
We need to do that one.
I remember her from the Wayans brothers when she was on the Wayans show.
She's on the Wayne show.
Yeah, she was. I think the guy that lived upstairs that owned the building or something like that, she was his wife. And she was hitting on Marlon.
I'm gonna have to go back and look at that.
Well,
yeah, she was trying to get with Sean.
See, all that came out though after I was grown, and then like Deborah was around, so I couldn't be watching it like how before, back in the day.
She still looks good. She's aging very well.
Nice.
Aging very well. You will be people out there are happy. The pop people will be like, oh, okay. There you go. You still got it.
Nice.
You can still shake what her mama gave her.
So I can't even. We just saw the movie. What, 2 days ago? 3 days ago?
Yeah.
What happens directly after the ghost story with the old man? With
It goes into the movie.
It goes into the movie.
Well, I know that. But where?
That's when the kid was on the beach, and then he found the gold coin.
It goes straight into that.
Yeah.
No, I thought it happened. No, not then yet. I thought
because they established. Yeah, they established that she's the DJ out there in the lighthouse and all that good stuff. Man.
Yeah, but it was the boat.
See, this is
Oh
something.
yeah, does it go straight into the boat when they're in the water?
It goes straight to the boat.
This is something that people who are younger than us need to watch and realize. I didn't have this problem, and I don't think you had the same issue either. But in some places, the radio wasn't on all the time. Like her radio station only kicked in at 6 p.m. to 1 a.m.
Oh,
for sure.
Yeah, I was like, what are you talking about?
and there was no streaming. There was no anything like that.
Yeah.
If you didn't have records in your house, you didn't have any music until the radio came on at 6 p.m. and then it ended at 1.
Yeah.
They signed off.
Just like
and
TV.
I was gonna say, and TV used to sign off.
Yeah, you guys are really showing your age.
Yeah.
Man, I don't remember any of that
Well,
stuff.
I remember it from Poltergeist. I saw it on Poltergeist.
Yeah.
I've never experienced it myself though.
Oh, come on. You don't remember? Yeah, right? You never experienced waking up in the morning
not that
and they play the Star Spangled Banner or something like that.
No, that wasn't me.
And then they had the Air Force poem or whatever, where the pilot was.
And then they show the planes.
And he would he said, and I would reach out and touch the face of God. And anyways, back to the fog. Back to the fog. Back to the fog. So this is when we find out that Jamie Lee Curtis is a hitchhiker.
How lucky can you be to pick up Jamie Lee on the side of the road?
And she gets
that brother?
No, that was Tom Atkins.
Well, they look like they were related.
So, his name is Nick Castle, I think, in the movie, and he picks her up, and she's like, thanks. I've never hitchhiked before. He's like, okay, no problem. And they're driving, and he pulls out a Budweiser from his lap. He starts drinking it. He's like, here, you want a drink? And she's like, sure. The last few people and she's drinking the beer, right, out of his beer. And she's like, let me ask you a question. Are you weird? And he says, yes, I am weird. And she's like, good, because the last 5 people were so normal that by the time they dropped me off, they wanted to get married. He says, I thought you said you didn't hitchhike before. He's like, well,
Right.
not until last week.
She's like, this is the first time I hitchhiked today.
You're right, today. You know what? Her character, this is something about her character in this movie. It seemed like in this movie, she was playing like a character like that's been through a lot, like herself, like a Jamie, like almost like she went through Halloween. She's gone through so many bad things or something like that. And she's here as in this movie with them, it seems like to me, you know.
She looked like she was relaxed. Like this was just a movie for her to have fun.
No, she was spoiled. She was spoiled rotten. Because he asks her, what's back home? And she says, oh, my mother and my father, lots of money.
Yep.
And so she was trying to defy her parents. And so she went hitchhiking so she could sell hand-drawn stuff in California.
Right. Now, here's the thing about this. I'm gonna be straight up on. I know we're not gonna do this movie because we talked about how bad it was. But okay. She did this other flick called Road Games?
Road Games.
Right.
Yeah.
She was a hitchhiker in that movie too. And not only was she a hitchhiker, but she also played the same type of role where she was getting away from her parents or whatever that was very wealthy.
Mm-hmm.
So it proved that they had lazy writing back in the 80s too.
In Halloween, the Shrewd, how do you say her name? Shrewd. The Shrewd were parents. Mr. and Mrs. were realtors. And they were only living in Haddonville in that house because that's where their selling area was. Maybe those are the rich parents. Maybe it's the Jamie Lee verse.
Oh, wow. We got like another verse, new verse?
Yeah.
The Jamie Lee verse?
But before the
Jamie
MCU.
Lee universe.
Before, yeah.
Yeah.
Jamie Lee universe.
Hashtag Jamie Lee
Curtis. Don't hurt us.
Don't hurt us.
As a hashtag Jamie Lee universe.
No, you can't say the whole word.
Oh, Jamie Lee.
You got to be cool. You got to just mix
Jamie Lee verse. Hashtag Jamie Lee verse.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm down with that.
She explains that she's already been hitchhiking 13 times. And he's like, oh, great. Not only am I weird, unlucky number 13. And she's like, oh, I don't know. Maybe you will get lucky. And then boom, the windows blow out of the car, the sides, the front. And it wasn't any of that safety glass or anything like that. It was that JD's Revenge taxi cab glass.
Yep.
That pane glass that just shatters all over the place. And they pull over to the side of the road and they look at each other and they're like, did you say get lucky? And they completely ignored the fact that all the windshields, all the windows in the car just blew out for no reason. They didn't hit nothing.
Every single one. It's like and they just drive. Why not? That
wasn't weird to them. It's just
it wasn't weird to him because he was like, so I'm gonna get lucky.
Yeah. Yeah,
so
that's
look,
what he was
I forgot about this. On the bottom of the screen, there's the old man, Mr. Hausman, right there. And this is what happened. They were showing the town and everything. This pissed me off right here. They're showing stuff that goes on the town. And here's the store clerk. He's about ready to shut down at midnight, right? And he's sweeping everything up. Comes up and drinks the orange juice. Gets a drink out of it and then puts it back on the shelf. That's the 80s. That's the 80s for
nasty.
Yeah, that's the 80s. Well, they was doing that out here for a little bit with the ice cream for a while.
With the ice cream shit.
I think that was like all over.
But this is even worse because there was no footage of it. No footage of us for us to know that people are messing with stuff.
Yeah, that was pretty gross.
So, and there she is right now. This gives you, I mean, if you could only hear us on the audio podcast, that's great. That's fine. But if you're watching the YouTube one, you can see right now, here's a picture of Adrienne Barbeau. And I just happened to catch the scene where she's sticking her tongue out. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. She got the little Bugs Bunny teeth.
She had better jeans on in this movie than Jamie.
Oh yeah, that was her job. That's why she had the higher listing also.
Oh, of course.
The higher credits. So after they established that everything goes apeshit at from midnight to 1 for no apparent reason, and the fog starts rolling in, they cut to Jamie Lee Curtis and Nick. They just slammed.
Yep. Got it on real quick, dirty. Man, he picked her up fast.
Yep.
Took her straight home.
And she was like, I'm gonna sell these paintings for $5 each, and I'm gonna be rich. After she just explains that she's already rich.
Right.
But there's nothing
that's
wrong.
her parents' money.
No, but there's nothing wrong. She wants to make her own money and all that. But yeah, and then he's like, "Oh,
be rich on her own."
Well, she's not gonna be rich like this, because he's like, "Oh, I like this one. Let me buy it from you." And she's like, "Oh, you don't have to buy it. Everything for you is free."
Obviously.
Yeah. Yes. Yes.
He put that work in.
So
I don't know. I still say they were related.
Deb. Deb.
They look the same. They look like they were related.
So getting back to the movie, we're still in the first like 5 minutes or less of the movie.
I couldn't watch the movie because I just kept seeing them, and I'm like, nope, they look alike.
Like a brother and sister combo, not like a lover combo.
Yep.
Okay.
Look at their faces. Look at their faces. They look like they're related.
I didn't think so.
I didn't think so either.
I did too.
She just got that stuck in her head, and then it just ran with it, just stuck with it the whole rest of the movie, because she kept on bringing that shit up. But anyway,
it's the same thing from the was it with last week with the dead body?
So
your mind is you watched a lot of horror movies in your life.
So
a lot of horror movies.
So
that's why we have the podcast.
So this brings up one of my favorite lines of all movies ever, because this brings up the priest.
Okay.
And the priest is there, and he's smoking in church as he's cleaning the church up, right? He turns off all the lights, and he walks in, and he's like, "Father," whatever the guy's name is, "Father so-and-so, I'm done here today." And the father's like, "Oh, okay, come back tomorrow. I don't need you until 4:00. He's like, "Yes, Father." Here's my favorite line. He goes, "Father, do you think I can get paid?" And he looks at him and he goes, "I don't need you until 6:00. And
he's like, "Yes, Father."
Whoa.
Yeah, and then the guy's like, "Yes, Father," and then walks away.
Okay.
He's like, "I wonder if I can get paid." He goes, "I need you here at 4. Can I get paid 6?"
Ask me again.
Man.
And this is between midnight and 1, and that's when he gets up to walk the guy out. After he asks the guy, he's like, "You want something to keep you warm on the way home?" Everybody's drinking and driving in this damn movie.
It's in the 80s.
And nobody's wearing seatbelts.
Yes.
No seatbelts.
There were no seatbelts in cars in 1980.
They
didn't work.
Only the driver could wear them.
Right. But they all was stuck in the bottom of the seat.
But, yeah.
And you have to like put your hand all the way in.
Yeah.
It's like all the way up to your elbow just so you can look for it.
That's when the back seat had an ashtray in the front.
Yes, in front of you, you look at the ashtray. But
and a little silver ashtray with the top, the cover.
Oh. So we got how many people we got dead so far?
Welcome to Old Car Podcast. Let's not forget the vent that would cool your nuts off right underneath the drive, under the
what are you talking about?
Well, since Deborah don't drive, she wouldn't know where the steering wheel was. There used to be a vent right underneath the steering wheel in the cars, and if your AC worked, the AC would chill your nuts.
Oh, it is back in the day. That's when they had the light switch was on the floor.
On the floor, yeah. You put your high beams on with your left foot.
Yeah, that's back in the day. Okay, man, that's
and then you shake it all about.
Welcome to the Back in the Day cast.
Right.
Shake it all around.
So
Do the hokey
She's just on her own shit. Just on her.
Okay, where we at, Josh? How many? What's our death toll so far?
None. Because we're still in the first 5 minutes of the movie.
Jesus.
Yeah. Yeah. Ain't nobody died yet. So there's still first midnight to 1 o'clock, and the ground shakes and alarms are going off. I didn't realize there were so many car alarms back in the day.
Right.
Lights are shaking, glasses breaking. This is also when the windows break out of the car with Jamie Lee and Nick. Where the priest is at, as he gets up to walk the guy out because the guy wants his money, a brick falls off the wall, stone falls off the wall, and he finds his grandfather's not Bible, but memoirs. What do you call it? Diary. Journal.
Right.
And he starts reading it, and he's a couple of pages in, and then he has this oh shit look on his face, which is shown right now on the bottom right hand corner.
Yeah.
And we don't know what he reads until later on. So they cut to the radio station, and Adrienne Barbeau gets a call from the weather guy, and he's all trying to flirt with her and all that, and she's talking back and forth to him, and he's like, oh, well, you should let me take you out to dinner. And she's like, nope, my description of a perfect man is just a voice on the other end of the phone. So he's like, all right, she's blocking him. He says, oh, well, here's some information. There's some fog rolling in from the east, and that's 25 miles out, and there's a ship that's 10 miles out. And she's like, oh, great, that's 10 seconds on the radio. She calls him for information. He gives her information, and she's like, oh,
he calls her. Does he?
I don't remember. It's kind of weird though. The whole thing with her owning a radio station at the lighthouse.
Well, and she says, yeah, I'd have to pick a radio station out here in the middle of nowhere. But she was getting away from Chicago.
Oh,
we don't know the backstory of the ex.
It's something with her kid or something like that.
The kid and the ex, secondary movie or something going on, a subplot.
Right. Here's something I want to put in right quick. Carpenter, this movie was filmed very well.
Yes.
There's some scenes in there that you're like, this is done very nice. It's really tactful and everything else like that. The imagery, it was really good. The only issue that I had was that we didn't have more of that.
What do you mean?
I wanted all John Carpenter stuff like that.
Oh yeah. And I mean this type of movie had to be made back then. The long story, the long format story. Because if you try to do that now, just people would be lost.
Yeah.
Yeah, I heard that he never wanted to do another movie with fog again. He said it was the hardest thing ever.
Some of the effects look kind of cheesy. Some of the fog effects. But maybe that's why. So this leads to my second favorite line in the movie. So she gets on the radio station live, and she says, oh, I want to give a shout out to the sailors that are 10 miles out right now. Just want to let you know that 25 miles from here, there's a fog bank that's rolling in. And they're all like, oh, I'd like to meet her. And the guy's like, oh, well, I met her the other day with her and her kid at the grocery store. She's got a kid? Yeah, she has a kid. She's a mom. What do you expect? He's like, oh. He goes, yeah, but I saw her. You would like to meet her. And there's the one guy looking at the window. Kind of reminds me of Quinn from Jaws. Yep. He goes, there's no fog out here. She doesn't know what she's talking about. And then they have the conversation. And then it cuts back to him. He goes, there's no fog out here. And then you see the fog coming in. And he's like, huh, there's fog out here.
Yeah, he did.
Which is all like nonchalant. There's no fog out here. 1,000, 2, 1,000, 3, 1,000. Huh, there's fog out here. Just
it rolled in hard, boy.
The fog hits, and as soon as the fog hits, there's 3 people on the ship. There's the young guy that he's been in tons of stuff too. I don't know what. So he goes under deck, and the other 2 guys are on deck, and they see this pirate ship type, a schooner or whatever you call it. I only said schooner because of Mallrats, but pulls up next to it, and then there are these ghost pirates on the ship. Just runs a sword through everybody,
Man, that you know, I'm scared of a few things in life.
Okay.
One of them is clowns.
What?
I hate clowns ever since I was a kid. When I went to Old Wild Chicago, I'll tell you about it one time.
Okay.
I don't like that, and I don't like ghost pirates.
Specifically, ghost pirates.
Ghost pirates. I do not like ghost pirates. Ghost pirates to me are just evil.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah,
you're already a pirate, which is bad news, but you got to be a ghost pirate. You know, woo! That means you haunting something.
Yes. I didn't think of it that way, but I can see your point.
And they were looking for something.
There's always a hex with them, and you know what they always after? They money. They always clinging on to some old money or something.
They're gold.
Yep.
That's a movie we need to do. I Want Me Gold.
The Leprechaun.
Leprechaun in space. That's what we need to.
Man, we talk about some cornball stuff right there, boy.
That's what we need to do. A Patreon with the cheesiest of cheesy movies.
Yes, let's do it.
And you can only hear them if you buy in on the Patreon. We'll make a cheap Patreon, like $1, $3, $5, $25 a month.
Of $25 a month?
Do it.
Like $25 a year.
I'm down with that. I'm 25.
How much is it for?
No, we're not gonna have that conversation live on the pod because then I have to edit all that out, and I'm too damn lazy for that. So this is when we find out that Nick is connected to everybody in town apparently, because he's like, "Where's Mike at?" Mike, talking about the guy on the one of the guys that were on deck, and it's morning now. Everything stopped at 1 a.m.
Yep.
And he shows up to the dock with Jamie Lee. Like I think he was trying to stunt on her. I think he was trying to this is my boat. These are my friends with boats.
I don't know if he was or not, but yeah, I could see that. But he was just with everybody. He was like the cool guy in town.
Okay, everybody knew his name.
That everybody knew him.
Everybody knew him. Everybody liked him except the one guy that was there. It was like they're like, damn, we need another actor. I don't know, just go get whoever off the street. And then he's there. He's like, nope, ship's not here. Maybe you should relax. He's probably is drunk.
He probably is drunk.
Right.
He's like, every night he goes out there, he gets drunk, but he's never not come back. He's like, you worry too much. Just reading the lines.
Yeah, he probably had him in his hand on his hand written down.
He kept looking down.
So he comes back and goes to another one of his friends that has this yacht speedboat thing, and Jamie Lee's just kicking back in the back of the boat, just enjoying the wind in her hair, and then comes out with a strange line. She walks up to the top where they're at, and she goes, "Is it always like this?" He goes, "No, it always is." Like, what?
We started laughing on that part.
Right.
I have a question. When
shit.
people are on the boat, why do they all? I've seen it for real in real life too, not just movies.
Keep in mind, we've both been on boats.
I know.
Okay.
That's why I'm asking the question to both of y'all.
Okay.
Okay.
Why do people lean against the back? I mean, isn't it like you hit a wave and then fall over? You know how she was leaning?
Well, she was
in the back.
There was a larger boat, and the chop wasn't that bad. I mean, it looked like a smooth ride.
I've seen boats where people are leaning in the back like that when it's like, and they're going fast.
Well,
I've been in a boat where family members were like that, and I'm like, why are you leaning against the back? Doesn't make any sense.
It's relaxing, Dad.
Yeah, but what if you hit a bump?
This is what I got to deal with. She's like,
Right,
why are
it's
people
chill
happy? Why are people enjoying life?
Why is
No,
beer
that's not what I'm
cold?
saying. Why is what cold?
Beer. See?
Beer is nasty.
See, this is what I got to deal with every day.
It was just a question. You could have just answered it.
She's like, why is she smiling?
That's not true. She was just on the boat with her brother.
She ain't letting it go.
Bro, I'm going to have to hear
she
this.
Wasn't going on. She was down with him for a while. Because she was like, wherever you go, I'm going.
He told her straight up.
It was brother sisterly love.
Drop the brother sister thing already. It's ruining the story. They didn't look anything like they were even related. No, but see, we're missing out on this cold line that he told her because you're worried about them being siblings. He told her, "Hey, aren't you supposed to be moving on to the next town?"
Right.
This is like after they woke up and then they went to the boat, and she's like, "I might have to stick around with you," and he's like, "Oh."
Yeah, she was sticking around, all right. I mean, come on, she was car hopping across the country.
Yeah.
You know,
For the first time that week.
She didn't even take a hint.
So then they get to this next part, this picture I'm going to bring up right now. And on this picture, they get on the boat and they look in one of the hatches or something like that. And they're like, "There's water in the engine." And the other guy says, "Yeah, but the deck is bone dry." So like water was like big waves or something like that would have came through. That or a leak would explain why there was water in the engine, but there's no water on the actual deck.
Yeah, there was water in his beer too that he found.
Well, yeah, that's when they go down under. They went to Australia. No, they go inside the whatever you call the inside of the boat, and they're
hole.
looking around. The hole, and they don't find anything. And he grabs the beer, right? Budweiser again in that aluminum heavy duty can, the tin can probably.
Yeah.
Probably had to open it with a little bottle opener or whatever. And he smells it, pours it into his hand. Yep, salt water.
That was pretty wild.
Just drinking.
Because I was really thinking out like, man, what did they do in there? You know?
What if it was something else and he tasted it?
Ugh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this
I did
is
that
when
once when I was a kid. I used to always hang out with my grandpa, and he always used to give me like a sip of his beer all the time.
Yeah.
Right. And I sat on his lap. Right. So I sat down at the kitchen table and I said his beer, and I just reached to pick it up just to have a sip, and it was ashes in it.
Yes. Yes. Right. Yes.
I was like,
Did y'all just knuckle?
I put my hand up to knuckle. I don't know if Cobweb saw it or anything like that. There you go. There you go. I've been there. I know that taste. Wrong hand. So this is when Jamie Lee Curtis and I wonder if they did it in Jurassic Park as a tribute almost, when Samuel Jackson's arm comes out and hits what's her name over on the shoulder, because that's when on this clip his arm comes out, she moves, and then he just like flips forward with his eyes gouged out and all that. And it reminded me of Samuel Jackson's arm in Jurassic Park, in the original Jurassic Park.
I remember that. Yeah, she lost it, boy.
I would too.
Lost it.
And look, it kind of looks like Michael Myers when you think about it. He's wearing a blue jumpsuit. His face is all pale. The eyes are gouged out.
You're right. He does look like Michael Myers.
And
they try to do it to scare her.
Jamie Lee verse.
Jamie Lee verse. He does look like Michael Myers.
So they take him back, and they're going to perform an autopsy on him, right? And let's see, that was number 6. So the next picture coming up is going to be 7. So they take him back to do an autopsy on him, and they do the Nick, let's talk over here. Excuse me, little lady. The men are going to talk. They do that 1980s stuff.
Yeah, right.
They walk off to the side, and they're talking about he's got silt under his nails, and he's got salt water in his lungs. I saw him 3 days ago, but he looks like he'd been underwater for a month.
No, Josh, that junk was messed up.
See, now this is the one part of the movie that they break their own universal rules. As this is happening, Jamie Lee's not paying attention, and the Michael Myers eyes guy, gets up from underneath the blanket, and he's got a scalpel in his hand, and he gets her right where she's at, and she screams. They run into the room. He's on the floor, and he carved the number 3 onto the floor.
Yeah.
3 representing the 3 deaths on the ship.
Yeah.
So nobody else, none of the other victims became zombies except him.
That's what I was like thinking.
And why did that happen in the middle of the day like that? You know, I don't know. Well, no, because it happened, later on in the movie too. It didn't matter. These guys, you know what? They weren't playing. These space, they're pirates, man. freaking pirate ghost.
Did you just call him a space ghost pirate?
Yeah.
Space ghost?
Space
Yeah,
ghost.
it was like space pirate ghosts. They were just hell. Told you I have no love for pirate ghosts.
I think I have a picture of him. There you go. There's one in the background right there.
Sweet God. Look at that. Look at those eyes. It's terrifying. They're pirate ghosts, man. Pirates are scary as it is.
And then Pirates from the Dead.
Pirates from the Dead. Then we cut back to Jamie Lee Curtis's mom, Janet Leigh, and they go to meet the preacher because they want the father to go talk at the 100-year celebration for Antonio Bay, right? Man. Is Antonio Bay a real place? I don't know if it is.
I don't think so. I don't know. That dude was gone, man.
So, and this is when he admits that there was a leper colony coming that wanted to form. This is 100 years ago, reading his grandfather's journal. A leper colony wanted to form 1 mile away from town, and the main guy that had leprosy had tons of money, and he came to the preacher first, the father first, letting him know what he wanted to do, and the father's like, "Sure, come on down, no problem. This is what we can do. Bring your friends." But then he's admitting in his journal, "I don't want lepers around us, and it's going to be bad for the town." So what do? Him and 5 other people plan out that they're going to light a fire in the wrong place. Instead of at the lighthouse, they light it in the wrong place. That way the ship crashes and they sink to the bottom and they die. And then they plan on getting the gold. Even though they didn't have scuba gear or nothing back then, they're going to go get the gold from the sunken ship.
Man, let me tell you something about that. Now I forgot that I hate these pirates even worse because they were leper ghost pirates. Okay.
Leopard, space ghost pirates.
Not a leopard. Leopard.
Whatever. That's like some old stuff. What? Yeah, that's like leprosy, man.
Maybe they just had psoriasis.
Real bad psoriasis?
Real bad psoriasis.
Nah, man.
I get that in my beard, and I can't really wear black shirts because I got face dandruff.
Oh, you gotta oil that, man. You gotta get a good beard oil.
Yeah.
You gotta get a good beard oil. Shea Moisture. Use it all the time.
This podcast. This podcast not brought to you by. But if you beard oil places, you want to sponsor us, me and Cobb will support your products.
Yeah, we support beard oils. We got all of them, baby. We try about every week.
Oh man! Hey, we're not all about the money. We do this. We do this at a loss as it is right now. So we do this out of the love of movies, out of conversation, out of community, and yeah.
Yeah, I like money, but but this priest had he was gone after that point. He's telling Jamie Lee Curtis's mom all about it. They're just like reading out the story and everything, and she's just like, they're trying to talk to him, and he's just like rambling on and on. It's like
because the guilt, he's got straight up guilt. He feels bad that his hero. His grandfather that he modeled his life after, he was one of the town pillars, and one of the most respected people that, that's how they formed the community. They even admit to wanting to steal the gold so they could build their community and make it stronger and better. And so now he just found out all that was a lie.
Well, his grandfather was a real piece of freaking work.
Yeah. Who's
because he
almost
stole
as
the
bad.
gold from them.
Yep. And then we find out later on he made it into a cross. Big gold cross.
And then he had it hiding.
So, here's the other thing though. You know who I think is worse than, if not just as bad as the grandfather?
Who?
Janet Leigh. Because he's like, there's a curse. They want the blood of 6 people here. And that's why the fog came in exactly 100 years in. And that's what's causing all this damage. And she's like, I just planned all this shit. I've been spending like the past 2 years getting this going. And we got Little Joe and La Familia coming in playing some music.
Right.
And there's gonna be fireworks. Got Mr. W fireworks here. We spent like $400 on fireworks. And you're not gonna shut us down just because of a curse.
And that's because she doesn't believe it. All she's seen is just like some crazy junk at 1 o'clock in the morning, and this freaking preacher over here freaking losing his freaking mind, not listening to nobody. I mean, that's her part. She's like, whatever. And old girl that's with her, like, yeah, okay.
Her assistant. That brings up.
I was gonna just say that. I know what you're going to say, Josh.
That brings up my third favorite line in this movie. She says, "Remember, hopefully when we talk to the preacher, he's not all in his cups." Talking about, he's drinking too much. And she's like, "Yes, ma'am." And she goes, "You know what, Sally? You're the only person I know that can turn yes, ma'am into sounding like it says screw you." She goes, "Yes, ma'am."
Because she was like saying all this stuff. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
You're the only person that can make it sound like screw you. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Because when she kept asking her, you still going to cast after preacher? So are you going to do the benediction or whatever it is? Benediction. And he was like, and she was like, I take that as a no.
Yeah. I know you're completely
classy.
shook right now. All your beliefs and everything have just been completely broken. But you can do this or not? Because we got people coming.
Right.
And her husband was missing.
And yes, her husband he wasn't. See, that doesn't make no sense though, because he wasn't even one of the 3 on the boat. So he's missing for something else.
He wasn't? I thought he was.
He was not one of the 3 on the boat. He was on a completely different boat because they find the boat. And she's like, yeah, but what about my husband's boat?
Oh.
So that's another subplot story going on.
I think that they were just on that.
There was some stuff going around in this town.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Had some stuff hiding. That's why the ghost pirates were looking for them.
So
Ghost pirates.
The leper ghost pirates.
Forgot space.
Space pirates.
Leopard space ghost pirates.
This is when we find out that they want 6 souls. They want to claim the 6 because it was 6 conspirators to have them crash.
That's it. That seems kind of like, just 6 people.
I'm glad you thought the same thing. I'm like, oh well, everybody's worried about this and that. And what, Deborah?
Nothing.
Just 6 people.
Yeah, I mean, it's gonna suck for their immediate family and all that, but really it wasn't like a mass casualty incident or anything like that. It's just like, well, they already got 3 off the boat. They only need 3 more people.
Right. Exactly. It's just 3 more people that's got to die.
So then, like, once they get those other 3 people, then they're gone, right?
And that's
go
it.
Away. They don't come back for another 100 years.
Yeah. Well, they won't even come back 100 years later because they were done. The price has been paid.
So then, yeah,
the
done.
debt
It's
is over. And then this is when we cut to the scene where Adrian Barbeau's kid, when he was out on the beach.
Yeah.
At like 7 a.m. by himself, just playing on the beach.
Oh yeah, and that's when he saw the gold coin, right?
He's out on the rocks, out on the Jeddah, and there's a gold coin there, and it's like 6 feet away from him, and he's reaching for it, and the waves come in and hit it, and the coin's there, and the waves rush out, and the waves come back in. He's still reaching for it, and then it has a piece of driftwood. It says Dane. Come to find out, it's the ship. It's the ship that they were on.
Yeah.
All I know is
the pirate space leopard ship.
Yes. That wood held up well for 100 years in water.
Man.
So it was the ship that belonged to the ghost pirates?
Yes.
Yeah.
So he gives the.
Let me say something about this kid before we go any farther.
Please go ahead.
You know how I feel about children in movies. I did not like this kid at all.
No.
I thought he was dumb. I don't feel bad about assaulting children because he's grown now. So, I just didn't like the kid. I thought he didn't listen. Yeah. And wait. I know we're going to jump ahead about this. Remember when she called him up and asked him about that, asked him about where he got that wood from and everything else like that. And he's like, I don't want you going outside tonight, blah, blah, blah. I want you to stay in here. It's like, oh, Mom, whatever. I'm like, this kid's like 6. What do you mean let him outside?
That's what I was trying to get to. I mean, she's asleep because she was working till 1 o'clock, right?
Mhm.
Yeah, he just let the kid do whatever the hell he wants.
And then hangs out with Miss Kravitz down the road.
And then he was one of the kids that was hearing the story.
Yeah, he was on the beach. Well, that was Mr. Kravitz or Mr. whatever. I'm just saying Kravitz, but that was the husband
To Mrs. Kravitz.
to his babysitter.
Yeah.
Worst babysitter ever, just letting him run along the ocean, picking up
Yeah,
driftwood.
right.
Trying to reach for
Gold
coins.
doubloons.
In the ocean, on
Yeah.
rocky beaches.
while waves are hitting.
Right.
Yeah.
Terrible.
You know, what if
1980.
something could have like reached out and grabbed him and then pulled him into the
Swamp thing.
yeah
Ocean thing.
ocean thing? You
No,
never know.
so
What if
he-
an octopus would have
he
came
gives
out
the-
and then
He gives the plank to the mom, and she takes it with her to the radio station, right? And this is when, even though we all knew it already, they had a nice water effect where the water's starting to leach out through the wood, and instead of it saying Dane, it kind of does it burst into fire with the water?
Yeah. It
And
catches on fire
si-
too.
It says 6 must die,
Why did she even take that with her to the lighthouse?
and then
he
she
gave it to
and
her.
then she puts it on top of her tapes for the radio station.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it started leaking, right?
The 4-track tapes, yeah, it starts with water and fire all over the place.
Yeah, it's water and it's fire at the same time. But why did she even take that? That's one thing I never understood is why she took that took her with it to work.
Because the script said so.
Okay.
Because he gave
Because
it.
John
because he
Carpenter
gave
was
it to her.
John Carpenter was like, hey, we need people to understand because people are probably dumb. They're not gonna be able to figure it out till 2020, and we need to explain that 6 people need to die. So can you carry this with you? And she's like, all right, bet.
Yeah.
And they
can
dapped
see
and
that.
then
So that evening, this is if you look on the bottom right hand corner, this is the weather guy, and he went from being this nice guy, like completely, docile and everything like that, to there's knocking. He's like, whoever that is out there, I'm about to go kick your ass. And she's yelling on the other end of the phone. He already put the receiver down. She's like, no, don't go. What happens? He gets it.
He got it good. They put some work in on him.
Yep.
Yep.
So that's number 4. Now there's only 2 more people that need to go.
is he the one that they stabbed him? Or no, it was probably the one on the boat. And remember there's one, he stabbed him, and then the guy was just looking at the pirate, and he's like, stabbed him again, and then stabbed him again.
Everybody got stabbed because they were pirates with swords.
I know, but it was just how they stabbed him. It was like robots were stabbing him, just like,
Yeah, they
Yeah.
moved. They moved like zombies. They could have been. Okay, look. Okay, all right. They look. These things were
Zombie
zombies.
ghosts.
Zombie. See, this is getting even worse.
So now
Space
they're
pirates,
leper
leper, ghost.
space zombie
zombie
ghost
ghost.
pirates.
I don't even know what category that falls under.
Everything. This movie's got everything for you.
Man,
Even a little bit of comedy.
right.
So, and then from there, Adrienne Barbeau figures everything out. She's looking at her lighthouse radio station, and she starts screaming, "My son is at 8818 Seashore Drive. Somebody save my son. Johnny, start running," because the fog's coming in.
Yeah.
And so typical babysitter and son aren't listening to that radio station.
Yeah.
And Miss Kravitz is all like, why don't you go upstairs and hide?
Yeah. She tells her to close all the windows because the fog's rolling in.
And then what does she do? She opens the door and she gets got to.
Yep.
Bottom right hand corner.
They got
Nice
her.
old
They
lady.
put some work on her. That sounded real rough.
Yeah.
Yeah, after this one on the screen drags her down, you just see everybody prison movie
Yeah.
shank style. Just
Yeah. Yeah. They got her. They put some work on her. See, that's the thing with Carpenter. You don't always have to. Ooh, my goodness. You don't always have to. Just knowing that what's happening is just, man, look at that, man. It coming out the fog like that, man.
With
that's
the red-
terrifying.
Oh my God. I just thought of it right now.
What?
Space pirates, lepers, zombies, ghost, Terminators. Look at the red eyes.
Yes,
Skynet.
Skynet, man. And you know what? The first thing they did when they was after that part,
What?
they cut the phone lines.
Yes, with the fog.
So now
Yes.
they're what do you call
And
it?
then-
you know it's
Telephone
messed up when they cut the
operators.
phone
And then-
lines.
My goodness.
Telephone
and-
technicians.
And then what happens after that? They get Adrienne Barbeau.
Yeah.
She get-
don't
she
forget
get-
they cut the power.
Oh yeah.
And that,
So
and
now
she-
they're
she's running-
electricians.
She's running on
Yeah.
top of the she gets on top of like a grain mill or something
No, she's
like
on
that.
top of it. No, she's on top of the lighthouse.
Top of the lighthouse.
At first, I thought that was a good place to hide. When
I
she
was
on top
I
of
was
the lighthouse because I didn't think that they would be able to climb up there that well. I mean, they're zombies. They're moving really slow. Ghosts, but they get up there, like it wasn't no big deal.
I
And I thought-
was building to a joke,
Oh.
but the joke is now dead.
And now it's a zombie joke.
Zombie, space pirate, mountain climbers.
My question is, there was only one ladder up there to go up to where she was at. How did the other space ghost, pirate, zombie, electrician go up to the top on the other side? Because they were like on each side. How did he get over there?
Because the fog
Right.
went up there, and wherever the fog is, they can be.
And then
Plain
he
and
hit her
simple.
with the freaking hook on her
The
neck.
hook.
On her,
the-
yeah.
I know what you could do. Not only in the neck, but right here in the trap, in the collarbone. So it hooked it.
Right,
Did
she
she
didn't
like-
even scream.
Well,
Yeah, she screamed. She screamed. It's
She was
right
like,
there in the
and
clip.
she was like, get that shit off me.
But she falls down.
She's like, this don't
So
hurt.
this is when they get to the part where inside the church, the preacher's kind of telling everybody what's going on, and they find out that the 6 ghosts want their gold back. I want me gold.
That's
and
all
then-
I kept saying in my head every time.
Yep.
And then so they dig out in the walls and they find this giant gold cross, and they give it to the main guy.
The priest takes it.
The priest
the
takes
priest
it,
takes it.
and he's giving it to the main ghost. As the ghost grabs it, it starts glowing white. All this energy starts coming out. Nick grabs the priest, pulls him back. Everybody disappears. All the ghost zombies disappear.
Jeez.
Everybody's safe. Adrienne Barbeau is not dying from her wounds. She gets back on the radio because the show must go on.
Yep.
Everybody disappears and it's all good.
Yeah.
And it's when you think it's the end.
Priest
I'm trying
is
to
clean.
figure out why she was saying that she was tripping out. I have to when she was like on the radio, she was telling her son, I gotta be here. I'm sorry I can't be there with you, but I gotta be here. I was like, get the hell out of here with that bullshit.
Because she's protecting the
She
town.
should be
Because the town's
protecting
more
her son.
Thank
the town's
you.
more important.
Her
than-
son, it should be more important than the town.
And because she left her with that whack ass babysitter, she should have known she should have got her ass up. Yeah.
Yep.
Mrs.
Rest in
Doubtfire
peace.
for real.
Rest in peace, Miss Doubtfire Kravitz.
Mrs. Doubtfire.
Horrible. Horrible.
What was her name?
Mrs. Doubtfire Kravitz. You just said it.
Yeah.
You know,
Now
who,
she's a zombie Doubtfire Kravitz.
you know who else was in this movie?
Oh.
Nancy Loomis. Nancy Loomis
Isn't-
Nancy Loomis, not because of the name Loomis, is in a lot of the Halloween movies also.
But there's that
Regina Walden.
universe.
Her name is Cobritz. Miss Cobritz.
It's Cobrits. I like Kravitz.
Yeah.
No wonder
Kravitz,
I
too.
was calling her that.
I like
So
Kravitz better.
just when you think everything's cleaned up and everything's done, preacher's in there, and he's over by the altar, and then here comes the main ghost, lops his head off. You hear the sound effect. Sounds like he's putting some effort into it. Movie ends. The fog.
Yeah.
I don't think it's.
Still need the six.
I don't think it said the title until the movie ended.
Yeah.
I like when movies do that.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. It's just like this is what you just seen the fall.
Yep.
Because they still needed their 6.
Yeah.
I wonder if he wouldn't have, if the guy if he wouldn't have pulled him off of the zombie when it was the cross was glowing, if it would have killed him, and that would have took the 6 then.
I think so. I think it would have been done.
Yeah.
I think it would have been better if it would have been just the people related to the original 6.
Yes.
And
That
then
would have
just,
been dope.
like all the regular people, as long as you stay out of the way, then you're safe.
Yeah.
Then I would have been like,
real nice.
zombie leper pirate guys, come over here. That's who you want
Phone
right there.
technicians. They knew how to take out power. They knew how to take out the phone line. How did they know this? What did they know about? They were pirates. How did they zombie ghost? When did they know about phone lines?
The fog be letting you know.
Right. When did they understand the concept of power or electricity?
The fog has been around all this time, and it transmitted the fog intelligence into the
fog
pirates.
intelligence. Right. Because you know why?
The fog has fast learning.
The zombies, the zombie, ghost, pirate, leper, electrician. What else did they do?
They could feel the vibration through the lines. Feel it. Feel the vibration.
Man. Hey, you know what's pretty tight though? Deb, how did you feel when Jamie Lee was in that truck and she was trying to get it to go when the pirates were coming down after they saved her son? And
I was yelling at her.
Yeah, you were yelling at her too?
Yeah.
I'm there like, rock the truck. Just rock the truck.
But it was a stick shift, Josh. That's what made it hard.
Yes.
It was a stick shift. You can't rock that as easy.
I told Josh.
Back then, all the cars were, so if you knew how to drive, it's not like now where, 20% of people, 15% of people know how to drive standard. Back then, everything was standard.
I told Josh, what if she was trying to start it and then all of a sudden she turned around and she's like, I don't know how to drive standard. And that's why she couldn't. That's why she couldn't move it, because she didn't know how to drive standard.
Deborah's making reference to a short film that we have. So if you haven't seen it, it's not all that funny.
It is funny. Yes, it is.
The clip is funny. The short film is funny. But if he hasn't seen it, your joke isn't funny.
It is funny too.
Wait, here's the thing. Deb, I know you. How deep was that hole that truck was in for it to be stuck like that? It was like in a little puddle of water.
Yeah. See, she didn't know how to drive.
No, she didn't know what she was doing.
Didn't know how to.
This is the part that both of y'all are forgetting. And anybody who's driven standard would know. She was on a hill. So she kept stalling out. That's what it was.
Oh.
She was on a muddy hill in a hole.
Well, I don't drive, so how am I supposed to know that?
In a stick shift. I've had that happen to me.
And then it was on the steering column too. That's hard as hell if you don't know about shifting on the steering column, let alone on the floor.
I still think she didn't know how to drive.
No, she didn't know what she was doing. I think it was a combination of both. And she was panicking. The fog was coming in. The zombie Neo, whatever they is, coming down the street.
Yeah. So this was another not that much Jamie Lee Curtis movie in it.
There was a lot of Jamie Lee Curtis in it.
Not really.
He was in it quite a bit.
There was a whole bunch of. I mean, the acting was spread around.
Yeah.
More Adrienne Barbeau.
Well,
a lot of Nick. A lot of the priest. A lot of Janet Leigh.
Well, every time you saw Nick, you saw her.
Yeah.
And then she was just kind of there along for the ride. But this is maybe when she was still building her career. She was getting hot then. The name was picking up. And so they were adding her to it. So.
Yeah. Remember, she said, it seems like stuff. That's what tripped out. She said, it seems like stuff always keeps happening to me.
Yes. She says, I'm bad luck. Don't hurt us, Jamie Lee Curtis.
Yep. Yeah, she was bad luck, all right.
Let me bring up the calculator. The infamous Windows calculator. Cobweb, this movie, starting 0 being the worst, 10 being the best. And we were only going through horror movies, not all movies of all time. Because you can have a 10 horror movie that compared to like Schindler's List is like a 3.
Okay. So you actually try to get into this rating. See, this is how, wait, before you go any farther, this is how I rate it. I rate each movie as it is.
Okay.
I don't compare it to nothing else.
Okay.
I just compare it to what it is. That's it.
Your own opinion.
My own opinion. I don't care what I've seen or whatever. That's that movie. I think that's the way to go, right there.
Look at that face.
Now you give me the people's eyebrow.
I don't even know what this thing is. Chuckles gave it to me years ago. I don't know what it's from.
I think it's
Oh,
cursed.
that's easy.
It's one of those space ghost pirates.
No, that's from what was it? The Pumpkin King, from Christmas, Nightmare on Christmas or something, whatever it is.
No,
not.
it's not him. It's not Jack.
It's not Jack.
It's not Jack Skellington.
No, Jack had like some little guys with him.
That's not them.
That's not one of them?
No, it doesn't have any Disney branding on it. But anyways, back to the rating system. How are we rating?
Our own rating, like we've been doing.
That's not what I meant.
Oh,
Cobweb.
Right.
What number do you give it, good sir?
I would give The Fog a 6 for the 6 deaths that needed to occur in the movie.
Nice. Deb?
I give it a 7 because it's a movie that I grew up watching with my dad, and I remembered it the same way, and I liked it. I enjoyed it.
Nice.
Yeah.
Because of, in a couple of places it kind of drug on, and because of the zombie, leopard, pirate, electrician,
Telephone Technician.
leopards, I'm gonna have to give the movie a 5.
You forgot to say space ghost pirate.
Space Ghost Pirates. They had the glowing
So
eye.
that brings it up to an 18. Divided by 3, we know what this is gonna be.
Oh,
Movie gets a 6.
that's good. That's a
You
good
know, I
rating.
know they were space because they just floated down to the top of that lighthouse and got on the other side there.
Because the fog goes wherever the fog goes, they go.
Yeah.
They didn't need no ladders or anything like that.
Well, the other one climbed the ladder,
Because he was chasing her.
but if he just needed the fog, he could have just flown up with the fog.
He was trying to get a look at those Jordache jeans.
Yeah. And then he did. And then when she kicked him in his face or something like that, hit him in his face or something like that, and the maggots were all on it and everything.
I know. I forgot about that part.
Oh, See, that's what I'm saying. Those zombie living dead.
Swamp Thing.
Swamp Thing.
Yeah.
Oh,
Saltwater
maggot
pirates.
face.
Saltwater
Maggot face.
saltwater taffy pirates.
Ew, taffy. I'm not gonna eat taffy ever again.
So here at Cast of the Pod, we give the movie a 6. Ironically enough, for the 6 dead, the 6 souls that were claimed in the fog. I completely thought it was The Mist, honestly.
Really?
The Stephen King The Mist.
Totally different.
Totally different movie. Totally different. The soundtrack was pretty good though. I mean, yeah, the John Carpenter.
The soundtrack.
Yeah, I mean it
Cool.
was almost as catchy as the Michael Myers theme. I'll play it on the way out.
He always has a good soundtrack in his movie.
Yes.
That's his thing. He puts you in that aspect with it because it makes you stick. It sticks to your head. You know.
Audio is very important, especially for horror.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Audio can make a horror even scarier.
Even horrible.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh yeah.
Radio. But all right, so that's all we've got. Unless y'all got something else y'all want to throw in about the fog.
Nothing really. I mean, it was decent. I liked it.
It's a good 80s movie.
Yeah, it's a good 80s movie.
80s horror movie.
I'll watch it again.
You recommend it?
I recommend it.
Josh, you recommend it?
Of course, yes.
So there we go.
Do you recommend it?
Yep. Stamped, sealed, and approved. Approved by Cast of the Pod.
Yep.
The Dream Team approved.
Need to put an effect on there. Just. But all right, y'all. Don't forget. Leave us a message. Tell us what movie you want us to talk about. 786-763-2278. You can hit us up at Cast of the Pod or Cobweb 411, or go to castofthepod.com and you know our links are there. I need to put the phone number on there.
And Deb, this is OMG.
You gotta be careful with that phone number, man. I almost got kicked off of that. I
What?
almost got kicked off of TikTok.
What happened?
Oh man, they told me I was a violation of the rules and stuff like that, and the bylaws were giving out the phone number for the cast of the pod phone number.
What? Oh
Yeah,
man.
I got two strikes against me on TikTok. I've
Oh,
got an
man.
account warning,
Wow.
and it's only been like a couple weeks I've been on it.
Well, thanks for
They
the
already
heads up.
ready to kick my black ass off.
Oh man. Oh man. Thanks for the warning. I won't put the number up on there then.
Yeah, Instagram don't care. It's them over there at TikTok that care.
Yeah, because they don't want anybody other than I tried to say. They only want their company. They don't want you to entertain yourself in other ways other than the TikTok.
Assholes.
All right, y'all. So thanks for tuning in. Do we say tune in? Because you tune in on the radios.
And then you watch on the YouTube.
Thanks for potting in, downloading in,
We need our own saying
for potting in,
potting
Yeah, the pod
casting
people.
for the pod
Yeah,
people
for
to
the pod
pod
people.
in.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, they plugged in.
Yes, plugged in.
There you
There you
go.
go.
Thanks for plugging in,
Pod people plugging in,
even though they're probably on wireless headphones, ear pods.
and they don't even know what plugs
Cast
are.
of the ear pods.
Yeah.
This podcast not brought to you by Apple, but if you want to send us some money,
We won't say no.
We always say no, money. We always want money.
all right, y'all. So
Yep.
the next movie, is it going to be Halloween Ends? Is that the next Don't Hurt Us Jamie Lee Curtis? Don't forget your hashtags. Hashtag Don't Hurt Us Jamie Lee Curtis. Hashtag Jamie Lee Curtis Don't Hurt Us. As soon as we hit that 5,000 mark, we'll put the t-shirts out.
Oh yeah, we're halfway there, people. We're halfway there. A little bit over halfway. Jamie Lee Curtis, don't hurt us. Don't hurt us, Jamie Lee Curtis.
So is the next movie Halloween Ends?
Why not? I think we're all going to see it this weekend or whenever this comes out. We're going to see it. Are we? Yes.
I believe so.
We can, yeah.
Yeah. Let's do that. I'm down with that. Next movie, Halloween Ends.
Nice.
Okay.
Unless you want to talk about Halloween 2 and save Halloween Ends for the end of the month.
Well, that would be the no.
Damn it, Josh.
So just tune in. Go to the Facebook.
Well,
go to the
actually, that would be
Instagram.
The last one.
Go to our social medias. We'll let you know which Halloween is the one that we're going to be doing next.
Right.
All
You'll see it. When you see a little post from Cobweb or something like that, you know what's up.
There you go.
You know,
All right, y'all. So until next time, I'm Josh.
I'm Cobweb.
And you have been warned. Peace.
Bye, everybody.